Hi friends, in this video we will see how we can implement generics for the classes. Previous videos we have seen the generics for the functions, right? And also the generic constraints also we have seen for the functions. Now we will see how we can apply the generics for the classes. Now let's come with an example. Now I have a class or something like you can think of data storage. Okay, so it will store, this class is responsible for storing the data. I will take some public one data variable. It is an array. Okay, first time it will be empty. So I have one method something add item. What it will do is this dot data dot push of item. uh, I will push that item. Okay, now I will take another one something like remove item, and you will be getting that item here. What I will do, this dot data dot splice of, what I can do, this dot data dot index of item, and I will remove the first item. So this is how we can remove the items in the, what we can say, in an array. Okay, now I will be writing another one, get items. So these all you know, I think. So return, I am returning the with spread operator this dot data. Okay, so now this is a just simple function which stores the data. Okay, which is a which provides the functionality to store the data, and this data you will be having an array, and each item we can add using this add item and remove item and get items. Here we are getting an array error here. See here, it will be mentioning that please mention the item. Okay, item should be of mention anything. So what type of item are you sending? So please mention any type. So something like whether it is a string or array, so please mention that one. It is saying, first of all, before mentioning that one, I need to tell the data to the data what type of data I am accepting. Okay, let's think that I am accepting array. It's an array of string, so I will be taking of string. Okay, I can take that it's an array of string. So that means only the string data I can push, and also here also remove item also I can remove only the string item. So now without any error we have created a class. So this class supports only for the string. So let's assume. So now what I will try to do is, now I will create const string storage or something like this. I have another, so new data storage I will create. Okay, now what I will try to do is string storage dot add item. I will add the item of something like Leela. Okay, and again what I will do, I will store another name something like John. Okay, what I will try to do is I will try to remove item of Leela, anything. Now what I will try to do is I will try to print the string storage dot get items. Okay, so what is the thing I am doing? So I have created a new string storage. So I am adding two items, I am removing the item, and I am printing the get items. So if I try to check the output here, sorry, if I try to check the output here, I got it John. So why? Because we got only John, we have removed the Leela here. Okay, now this one is fine. Now I want to create another one something like const. I want to store the numbers instead of strings. So what I will do is, again I will create a new data storage. Now what I will try to do is number storage dot add item of 1. I will try to store the 1, and I will try to store the 2. I will try to remove the item of 2, and again what I will try to do is I will try to print the number storage dot get items. Okay, now here we have two types of storage data. So first one is accepting string data, and second one is the same thing only, but it takes only the numbers. It will show. So but now here it is not accepting. Why? Because our argument of type 1 is not assignable to the type string is saying. Why? Because here we have assigned a data variable such that it is accepts only the string data, and also here add item also it accepts only the string. So what we can do here, so okay, fine, you can use this number concept or something like this. So I accept both string or number, something like this. We can keep like this, right? So now we can go, all the errors are gone away, we can use. But here now tomorrow another one. So now I want to store the object data, or otherwise I want to store the boolean data or something like this. So again I need to change R or something like that. Okay, so this could be a tedious job again. Okay, if you have so many methods and all those things, I cannot change this union thing. So now I can do something like, okay, I will remove this one string. Okay, I will remove this string thing concept, okay, for the time being. Okay, so I can tell something like, okay, so tell me before when creating the object, when creating an instance of this class, tell me the type, which type of data you are trying to store. Okay, so so that I will try to make the concept everything to accept that type of data only. Okay, so now what I did is, so now when creating the instance, tell me what type of data you are going to store before storing all those things. So that one we can tell it as generic. Okay, so now I am telling here I want to store string type of data, so automatically the t will become string, and all the declaration what I have declared here, everything will become string. Okay, now here I can tell that I want to store number data. Okay, so now it stores only the number data. See how much easily using the generics we have converted this one to accept both the string data and the number data. Okay, so now you can use the boolean or anything, so you can tell. Now I can just say simply copy this one. Before copying this one, we will check the output whether the output is coming or not. So if you check here, we are getting the output without any problem. Now what I will try to do is, I will show you another thing. So I will copy this one. Now I want to store the object. Okay, I want to store the object. Now here object storage. Now object storage dot add item of, what I can do is, name is equal to John I will keep, and here what I will try to do is name is name of Leela. Okay, now I will try to remove John. Here I can give that object storage and object storage. Okay, now we will try to check the output. What could be the output here? We try to check here the output. Now we will see what we are trying to remove. We have tried to remove the John thing. Let's see whether the John is removed or not. So that means only the Leela has to be there in that array, in that object. Now if I see John is there here, fine. Number storage is fine. But here if we see John has not been removed, Leela is removed instead of John, and John is the output we are getting. Why we are getting? We are removing the item John, but we are getting John only. Why? Because we already know about the primitive types and the reference types. I have already explained to you that about the primitive types and the, what I can say, reference types, right? So here we are creating name John, so that means this is a new object, and also here we are creating again the same object. That means it has a separate memory location for this one. So these both are not one and the same. So for that reason, here this data.splice, if you are going to get the index of that item, so in this array you will be not storing this object directly. You will be storing the memory location of that one in this splice. Okay, so you are storing the memory location of that one in this array. In this array of objects, you are storing each value you are storing in the memory location, not the value. So for that reason, see, John has not been gone. So what is here? So here you will be getting something like index of will be -1 comma -1. So for that reason, -1 comma 1 means, so it will be removed last item. Splice will remove last item. Okay, -1 comma 1 it will come. It will remove last item. Okay, in this way, so this will not work. If you want to work like this means, so what you can do is constant obj is equal to, you can convert this one to name to something like John. Okay, now I can give this object to here, and I can remove that same object here, so that the memory location will be same. Now if I try to get the output, if I get the output, now if I check here the output, now I got the Leela. See, John has been removed. Okay, that is the difference you need to remember. And this type of thing, so for example, if you want this data storage, so this is not this doesn't comes under this data storage thing. Okay, this is the objects default functionality. Okay, so now if you want to, so okay fine, so this class object has some complications and all those things. I don't want this data storage to work for reference types. I want this data class to work only for the string or number or boolean or something primitive types only, means you can write your extend functionality. So we already remember, right? Extends string okay, or number or boolean, you can use directly like this. Now if you go here and if I, oh sorry, we have for I will do the control Z. Now here we have an object. Right now it is accepting the object also. Why? Because t has something like t accepts any data, any type. Now extends, I will do string or number or boolean. Okay, primitive types I am taking. Now if I see down here, if I go here, we are getting an error for the object. Why? Because this data storage doesn't accept, this doesn't satisfy the constraint, because it accepts only string or number or boolean. So now it is accepting string or number, it is not accepting the object. So in this way we can restrict the data storage to accept only the desired types, not to accept that out of concept types. We cannot so we can restrict those type of things. Okay, in this way we can write the generics for a class without any problems. So easily we can, so type safety we can use, and strictly we can make the class to be a type safety. Okay, so this is all about how we can implement the generics in the class. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comment below to this video, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.